Julian Assange's condition is critical by Robert Gell for the federalistpapers.org. Julian Assange's health is deteriorating and he must be allowed to go to a hospital, medical experts say. The WikiLeaks founder, who is held up in the Ecuadorian embassy in London, needs to be given safe passage to go to the hospital. Doctors who recently examined him said he is a wanted man in the U.S. for leaking national security information and has a warrant for his arrest in Sweden over allegations of sexual assault. If he steps foot outside the embassy, British authorities are likely to take him into custody for extradition to Sweden or America, so Assange has been held up in the Ecuadorian embassy since June of 2012. Sandra Crosby, a doctor and associate professor at the Boston University School of Medicine and Public Health, and Brock Chisholm, a London-based consultant clinical psychologist, examined Assange for 20 hours over 3 days. While the results of the evaluation are protected by doctor-patient confidentiality, it is our professional opinion that his continued confinement is dangerous physically and mentally to him and a clear infringement of his human right to health care, they wrote in an article to The Guardian. Without going into detail, they say Assange's health is deteriorating after 5.5 years in the embassy. Crosby, who has done extensive work on human rights and refugees, and Chisholm, who specializes in trauma cases, wrote in the article, "It is unconscionable that Mr. Assange is in the position of having to decide between avoiding arrest and potentially suffering the health consequences, including death, and the need to call an ambulance if a life-threatening crisis such as a heart attack were to occur. Further, our assessment reveals that he has had no access to sunlight, appropriate ventilation, or outside space for over 5.5 years. This has taken a considerable physical as well as psychological toll. British authorities have rejected calls to grant Assange safe passage to a medical facility, and the equipment needed to treat him simply wouldn't fit through the embassy doors. They urge the British Medical Association and colleagues in the UK to demand safe access to medical care for Assange. Medical conditions are a matter of privacy, but a representative of Assange said he had approved Crosby, Chisholm, and Love writing the article. The Ecuadorian embassy, which has granted citizenship to Assange, is in negotiations with the UK government in an attempt to end the standoff. Assange's condition is of little concern to Attorney General Jeff Sessions, who said last year that arresting Assange was a priority for the U.S. The FBI is still investigating WikiLeaks for their continued release of classified information that they say threatens national security. The doctor's right. It is unconscionable that Mr. Assange is in the position of having to decide between avoiding arrest and potentially suffering the health consequences, including death if a life-threatening crisis such as a heart attack were to occur. Further, our assessment reveals that he had no access to sunlight, appropriate ventilation, or outside space for over 5.5 years. This has taken a considerable toll. It is our professional opinion that Mr. Assange's physical and psychological circumstances at the embassy are in a violation of the spirit of the UN standard minimum rules for treatment of prisoners. But I heard Assange had gotten out. And that he's okay. So I gotta check more into this because, and you see this, Attorney General Sessions, he wants to arrest WikiLeaks. Yeah, but you can't arrest somebody for publishing something that was leaked by somebody else. If that was the case, then the news media that leaked all the info on Trump, they should be arrested automatically. Why does it work one way and not the other way? You know, this is like unbelievable. But I will keep you guys updated. But this is, this is something. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And again, thank you so much for watching.